We've got some EV charger action going on here in Montreal. And a whole bunch of garbage just blew across the street. And hey everyone, it is Thursday, February 2nd. The time is 12:53 p.m. and the temperature right now is around -3 degrees Celsius. I am here at the intersection of St Laurent Boulevard and Avenue du Mont-Royal. And there's a look over towards Mont-Royal itself. And I just finished recording a walk that came up St Laurent. And for this one, I'm going for a walk through a neighborhood referred to as Le Plateau. So I'll be heading east along Mont-Royal here. And I'll make my way down through some residential streets, down to Rue Rachel, and then over to St Denis. And then I'll finish up in front of Mont-Royal subway station, or I guess the metro as they would call it here. We'll let this truck finish its turn. And if you Google what is the coolest or best neighborhood in Montreal, often this is the name that'll pop up. There's a cocktail lounge across the street. And as you can see, the sidewalks are a slushy, snowy, slippery mess. I mentioned in my last video that I've already seen a few people take a tumble. I wonder if the hospitals and clinics here see a higher incidence of sprained wrists and ankles and that sort of thing. There's a artisan glacier cafe. This street here is Hotel de Ville coming up. And there seems to be a lot of cafes and bakeries and that sort of thing. At least relative to what we're used to in Toronto. That is anecdotal, of course. I'd be willing to bet per capita it's true. And one of the great things, which we'll be seeing later about this neighborhood, is the mid-rise density These streets here feature a lot of plex-style buildings, duplexes and triplexes, and small apartment blocks. Whereas in Toronto, you often have single-family homes, or a duplex or a semi, if you're lucky. And all that density really adds to the character of the neighborhood. It allows all sorts of small businesses to thrive. And they also have a fantastic cycling infrastructure in Montreal. I would say, aside from the slippery and outright dangerous sidewalks, it is extremely walkable. It's clearly a city you want to visit in the summer, though. There's a vintage clothing shop. And off in the distance straight ahead, you can't really see it because it's white. That kind of blends in with the sky. Is Olympic Stadium, which hosted the Summer Games as well as the Montreal Expos, almost the Canadians, from 1977 until they moved to Washington. Here's a laneway covered in art. This is Rue St. Denis or St. Denis. And here's some of that excellent cycling infrastructure. Nice and clear. It's definitely in better shape than the sidewalk. And I'll be coming up St. Denis to finish this walk. So if all goes to plan, I should be circling back to this area. And the last time I was through here, in July of 2021, this was pedestrianized. And I think the city council here voted from 2022 for the next 3 years to pedestrianize this stretch during the summer. And that stretch runs between St. Laurent, so it was actually pedestrianized from where I started all the way to Fulham Street. I'm sure I pronounced that wrong. And here's the Mont-Royal metro station. And this was just a bunch of construction hoarding last time I was here. They have completed their renovation, and I think they also installed the elevators, making it accessible. And that sits on the Orange Line. I'm actually planning on doing a subway ride, something that's been requested. And I think what I'll do is I'll hop on the stop here and I'll go south for a stop and I'll transfer and I'll head west for one stop. That way I'll get 3 stations in. and ride on 2 different lines. I won't spend too much time in the tubes themselves. I'll see if I can find that restaurant I went to last time I was here as well. They had a pretty good burger, but their service was rather atrocious. Well, look at those stairs. I gotta be extra careful climbing out of that place. And it is 1:05. I'm starting to feel like I might want some lunch at some point soon. And here's one of the residential streets. And I think this is the place where I went to. I remember eating on the patio, having a burger, and a server who didn't know I existed. There's some people in there. They don't have food on their table. They're probably starving to death at this point. And someone in my live stream last night recommended a bagel joint that I should go to in this neighborhood. I forget the name. I'm going to see if I can spot it. That dog is wearing booties. Smart move. Well, I must have missed the bagel joint. The street here is Christopher Columbus. Well, on second thought, I think that's it. St Viateur. I think this is the place I was recommended to go to. There's a look towards Olympic Stadium. I am 99% sure this is it. I knew it started with a V. Right, it is 1:10. Let's do it. Let's go here and have a bagel. So I will resume recording once I'm set up here and eating. So I'll figure this out and I'll be back. They have a pretty good selection. I had a smoked meat poutine last night. So I think I will go with the club bagel. Smoked turkey, bacon, lettuce, tomato with pesto or mayo. That looks good. And there it is, the turkey club on an all-dressed bagel. I don't normally eat on camera, so I'll come back when I'm done and let you know how it was. Well, that was quite fantastic. The only hiccup is they didn't accept credit card. I left my debit card in the hotel. I just don't want to have all my eggs in one basket. So my meal came to just over $15 and I ended up having to spend the only $20 I had in my pocket. So if you are going there, just a heads up, debit or cash only. It's not a big deal, I'll just find another bank machine at some point. There's the Columbus Cafe and Company. So what I'll do is I'll continue walking east here for a few more blocks. And then I'll meander around some residential streets and find my way down to Rue Rachel. I'm sure there's all kinds of great spots along here that I am completely missing and failing to point out. was about to say when in Rome. And then that car approached the intersection. There's a store that seemed to specialize in that kind of candy, less common stuff. It's really amazing how few chain stores there are. And if this were Toronto, every other store or block at least would feature a cannabis shop or two. But those are not a thing here in Quebec. De Lanaudiere. There's a peak at the Stade Olympique. Well, let's head south here. And do a bit of residential exploring. And one thing I noticed flying over Toronto versus flying over Montreal is when you look down in Toronto, you see a lot of single-family homes. And in Montreal, you see a whole lot of this style development. They've got exterior staircases leading up to the second unit. So I think those are 3 units stacked on top of one another, shoulder to shoulder with their neighbors. And when we talk about the missing middle in Toronto, this is what that is referring to. And along streets like Danforth, a block or two north or south, I strongly believe should be this kind of housing instead of these single family and semis that we see, especially along a subway corridor. Our current zoning does not allow for that. And here we just have an apartment block. So the street is Marie Anne. And there's a school. And another hallmark of a good neighbor or urban neighborhood, you have some corner stores. Something you will see in Toronto. And it looks like there's another one across the street. That is not something you usually see in typical suburbs. There's another retailer, and it doesn't look like the sidewalk is all that walkable. And this street is De La Roque. Debating if I should. Let's go one more block over. Well, it does feature a bike lane that was cleared out nicely. And more corner stores popping up in a primarily residential neighborhood. Take notes, other cities. So this street is Christopher Columbus, if I read that right. I'm not sure what the story is behind these metal staircases and why they only go up to the second level. So is the third level of these homes part of the second level unit? I'd be curious to know. Let me know down in the comments if you know the answer to that one. Another absolutely buried bicycle. So this is Rue Rachel coming up. And I think it should have a bike lane. I think there's a park straight ahead, Parc La Fontaine. Oh, that wind is picking up. I don't see a dedicated pedestrian sign. I'm assuming the green light will do. We have a bi-directional bike lane. And on the right is a police station. If you are driving, those street signs are awfully hard to read. And look at this. I think he just decided he'd rather walk in the perfectly clear bike lane versus the mucky sidewalks. They've got a sign warning cyclists that vehicles might be pulling out of that Toyota dealership. And this is St Hubert, or St Hubert, as we say in English. And just like at the start of this one, some snow flurries have appeared. One-way street, nobody coming. Good luck. And St. Denis, I think that's how you say it. A major north-south arterial. That also features a protected bike lane everywhere you go. I am so jealous. And yet in Toronto we have these bozo knuckleheads complaining about the Midtown Yonge Street bike lane corridor. It's nice to be in a city that kind of gets it. So I'm just going to take this back north up to Mont-Royal. Korean food. That bibimbap looks pretty good. All right, so this is Anne-Marie again. I think this might be Mont-Royal coming up.
We got full like co-working days.
It's an interesting looking joint. So I should be right around the corner from the metro. I think it might be right around the corner here. I apologize for the deja vu. And here we go. So I hope you enjoyed this one, walking around Montreal's fantastic Le Plateau neighborhood. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below if you have any corrections to anything I said, minus my mispronunciations. Feel free to let me know. If you wish to support what I do, there's links to my Instagram, or rather channel membership and Patreon in the description. I also have Instagram and TikTok at Johnny Strides, and there is a super thanks button appearing below this video as well. On that note, it's time to sign off. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Stay warm, stay safe, and I will catch you on the next one. Yoink.